Hello everyone, welcome to this second lesson on factors and multiples. Here we will learn about factorization and the methods to find the highest common factor of two or more numbers. Let's begin. Factorization. Writing a number as a product of two or more numbers is called factorization. For example, let's factorize 180. So we can represent 180 as 2 into 9 multiplied by 10, which will result in 180. 2 9s are 18, 18 10s are 120. So here we have represented 180 as a product of its factors. So we have factorized 180. So 180, if you observe the factors, we see that 2 is a prime number, whereas 9 and 10 are not the prime numbers. Means they are composite numbers and we can further factorize them. Means they have more than 2 factors. So here if we try to further factorize them, we'll see 2 will remain 2 and 9 we can represent as 3 times 3. And 10 can be written as 2 times 5. So now here if we observe, all the numbers are the prime numbers. So here 180 is now represented as a product of primes. So this method of representing any number as a product of primes is called prime factorization. Now express 1680 as a product of primes. So let's take the smallest prime number, that is 2. So 2 times 840. Now 2 is a prime number but 840 is a composite number. So further we can factorize it. So we can write 2 here and then 2 times 420 will give us 840. Then further if we carry down these two and then we can write 2 multiplied by 210, which will give us 420. Then similarly we can multiply 2 into 105, which will give us 210. Now we'll copy down the rest of the product, which are already the prime numbers. Now here if we see, it is 105. So 105 cannot be divided by 2 because the number in the ones place is not even. So let's try the next prime number, that is 3. So for divisibility by 3, what do we see? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, so here we see 5 plus 0 plus 1 gives us 6. So 6 is divisible by 3, so we can divide this number by 3. So 3 times 35 will give us 105. Now these are all the prime numbers, so we copy it down. Now 35 can be further factorized. So 3 cannot go now, so 5 can go in this because one's place has 5. So 5 we can multiply 7 times to get 35. Now we observe that all the numbers here are prime numbers, cannot be factorized further. So it means 1680 can be represented as product of primes here, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. So we have represented 1680 as a product of primes. Now there is an alternate way to find the prime factorization of 1680, or we can say to find the prime factors. Here we will divide, where we will represent the quotient down below. So here 2 times 840 will give us 1680. Then 2 times 420 will give us 840. Then 2 times 210 will give us 420. Then 2 times 105 will give us 210. Then again, now we cannot divide by 2, so we have to take 3. So 3 times 35 will give us 105. Then 5 times 7 will give us 35. And finally, let's divide 7 as well. 7 ones are 7. So here we have the factors, or you can say the prime factors of 1680. Now we will represent them as a product of primes. So 1680 is equal to, we will represent as a product of prime all these factors. Clear? Next, highest common factor. Now what is the highest common factor? Let's take an example to understand that. Let's find the factors of 12 and 36. So let's find all the factors here. Factors of 12 are 1, 2, so we can get 12 by 2. From 3 also we can get 12, 3 4 is 12, and 4, then 6, then 12. And then let's find the factors of 36. So the factors of 36 will be 1, 2, then 3, 4, 6, 9 and 12. Anything else? Yes, 18 and 36. So you know that the smallest factor of any number is 1 and the largest factor is the number itself. Smallest factor is 1 and the largest factor is the number itself. So here factors means all these numbers can divide 36, or you can say have the ability to bring 36 by multiplying with another number. So here the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, and factors of 36 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36. Now if we compare the factors of these two numbers, we see many of the numbers seem to be common, or you can say the factors to be common. But out of this, if I ask you to find the largest factor or the highest factor that is common between the two numbers, you'll see that 12 is the highest factor that is common between the two numbers. So this number 12 can be termed as the highest common factor. So highest common factor of two or more numbers is the largest number which divides each of the numbers. So 12 is the largest number that can divide 12 and 36, and there is no number after that that can divide both these numbers. And it is also known as the greatest common divisor. So we can term the highest common factor as the greatest common divisor. Now there are two methods of finding the HCF, the highest common factor. First, the prime factorization method. Second, the division method. Let's find out the HCF of 128, 136 and 512 using prime factorization method. So let's use the alternative method that we have learned by dividing the numbers down below. So here we'll write the divisor and then the quotient down below. So 2 64 times will give us 128. Then 2 3 is a 6, 2 2 is a 4, that is 32. 2 16 times 32. Then 2 8 times 16. Then 2 4 times 8. 2 2 is a 4, 2 1 is a 2. So we have factorized 128. Now let's factorize this 136. So let's begin with 2. So 2 6 is a 12, that's 2 6 and 8. 268 is a 136. Then 2 3 is a 6, 2 4 is a 8, that is 34. 2 17 is a 34, and 17 is a prime number, cannot have any other factor, so 17 will go by itself, that is 17. 1 is a 17. Next 2 256 times will give us 512, isn't it? So then 2 12 is 24 and 1 4, so 128 times 2 64 times 128 to 32 times 64 to 16 times 32 to 8 is a 16 to 4 is a 8 to 2 is a 4 and 2 1 is a 2. So now let's represent these numbers as the product of their primes. Now how will we find the HCF here? Now using the prime factorization method we have found the prime factors. Now to find the HCF we will try to see the common prime factors among all the three, we can say. So HCF will be equal to, first let's see what is common between the three, that is what is common among the three, 2 2 and 2. So we'll take 2, that is common among the three. Next again we see that 2 2 and here we have 2 common, so into 2 we can write. Here again we have 2 2 and 2 as common, you can write into 2. But now do we find any other prime factor that is common among the three? No. So we will not take any more factor. So here 2 times 2 times 2 will give you 8, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. Hence the HCF of 128, 136 and 512 is 8. Now let's find the HCF of 128, 136, 512 using division method. Okay, so 128, so here you have to take the smallest number to be the divisor and the largest or the second largest number you can take as the dividend. So here 128 is the smallest number, so I am taking it as a divisor and then 136 as the dividend. Let's try to divide 136. So 128 will take 1 times, it will give us 128 because 2 times will be more than that. Let's subtract, so what will we get? 8. Now there is a remainder here, so it was not able to divide. Now we have to find a number that can divide these two numbers, means 128 and 136. So now let's try to divide the divisor by this remainder. So let's bring it here. So 8, now we'll try to divide 128. So let's divide first 1 and 2, 12. So 8 1s are 8, 12 minus 8 will give us 4, and then we'll carry down 8, that is 48. So 8 will 6 times will give us 48. So there is no remainder left now. So it means 8 is successful in dividing 136 and 128. Now let's see whether it is able to divide 512. So 8 is the divisor here now and 512 is the dividend. Now let's try to divide. So let's take 51 first. So 8 6 is 48. So 51 minus 48 will give us 3. Now we'll carry down 2. So it becomes 32. Now 8 how many times will go to 32? 8 4 is 32. So there is no remainder left. So here we observe that 8 was successful in dividing 512 as well. So we can say that HCF of 128, 136 and 512 is 8. So by using both the methods we see that we'll get the HCF as 8 by the prime factorization method as well as the division method. So you have to use according to the question. If it is not mentioned which method you have to use, then you can use any method. What is the greatest number that will divide 139, 184 and 424, leaving the remainder 4 in each case. Now what will be the greatest number? Whenever this question is asked, what is the greatest number that will divide, it means they are asking for the HCF, the highest common factor that can divide all the numbers that is given. So here we have to find the HCF such that it will leave a remainder 4 in each case. Whenever if I try to divide 139, 184 and 424, there should be a remainder left, that is 4. So if I find the HCF of these numbers, it means there will be no remainder left. So I have to reduce these numbers by 4 so that I can find the highest common factor of the number reduced by 4. So when I try to divide these numbers, there will be a remainder 4. So let's subtract 139. Let's subtract 4 from 139, that is 135. 184 minus 4 will give us 180, and then 424 minus 4 will give us 420. So I hope you are clear why we are subtracting 4, so that we can find the factor or the highest common factor for 135, 180 and 420. So that highest common factor will be able to divide 135, 180 and 420 completely. But when I will try to divide 139, 184 and 424, there will be a remainder 4 because I have already subtracted 4 here. So let's try to find the highest common factor. We'll use the division method here. So let's divide 180 by 135 first. So 135 will go 1 times, that is 135, which will give us 45. Now the divisor will become the dividend. So 45, how many times? 45 3 times will give us 135. So here it is completely divided by the number 45. Now let's try to divide 420 by 45. So 45 9 times will give us 405, and then we have 15 as the remainder. Now there is a remainder, so what will we do? We'll make the divisor the dividend. So let's bring 45 here. So 15 3 is a 45. Now there is no remainder left, so we can say that 15 is the HCF that can divide 135, 180 and 420, isn't it? So the greatest number that will divide 139, now we'll say 139, 184 and 424, leaving a remainder 4, means in each case will be 15. So if I try to divide these numbers now by 15, you will get a remainder 4 in all the numbers. Clear? Next, use HCF to prove that 980 and 1287 are co-primes. Now what is the property or the condition to be a co-prime? That they should have no other factor that is common other than 1. So 1 is the only common factor between the two numbers, then only they can be termed as co-primes. So let's try to find the highest common factor. Let's use the highest common factor method. Let's divide and see. So 980, 1 times will give us 980, because 2 times will be more than that. So let's subtract now. We get 307. So now 980 will become the dividend. So 307, how many times? 3 times to get 921, because if I multiply 4 times it will be more. So 980 minus 921 will give us 59. Now 59, now let's bring this divisor here as the dividend. So 59, 307 divided by 59 now. So 59 5s are 295, which will give us 12. Now still there is a remainder, so again bring the divisor from here to make it a dividend. So 12, how many times 12? 4s are 48, that will give us 11. Now still there is a remainder, bring down 12. So 11 1 times will be 11. Now remainder we have 1. Now let's bring the divisor here, 11. Now 1 11 times will give us 11, and finally we are left with no remainder. So here we see that 1 is the highest common factor that was able to divide 980 and 127 completely, and there is no other factor other than that. So it fulfills the condition of co-primes. We can say HCF of 980 and 1287 is 1. Since 980 and 1287 have no common factor other than 1, we can say that 980 and 1287 are co-primes. Clear? Next, reduce 350 by 518 to the lowest terms. Now in order to reduce a fraction to its lowest term, we need to find out the highest common factor between the two, and then divide the two, both the numerator and the denominator, by the highest common factor to get the answer. So let's try to find the highest common factor. So 518 divided by 350. So 351 times will give us 350. When we subtract, we'll get 168. Now here we have a remainder, so let's make the divisor the dividend. So 168 2 times will give us 336. Okay, so we are left with 14. So 14, and now let's make the divisor the dividend. So 14 1 is a 14, we can say. We'll be left with 2, carry down 8. So 14 2 is a 28. So 14 is able to divide 518 and 350 completely. So 14 is the HCF. So HCF of 350 and 518 is 14. So we can say, now to reduce it into the lowest terms, we'll divide each of the numerator and denominator by the highest common factor. 350 divided by 14 and 518 divided by 14, it will give us 25 by 37. So we have finally reduced 350 by 518 into its lowest terms, that is 25 by 37. Clear? Next, there are 342 apples, 627 mangoes, and 836 guavas. These are to be arranged in heaps containing the same number of fruits. Find the greatest number of fruits possible in each heap. How many heaps are formed? So let's take the first part, which we have to find the greatest number of the fruits possible. Means we have to find the HCF, the greatest number of fruits that is possible in each heap. So we can find the HCF of these three numbers. So let's find the HCF of these three numbers. So HCF of 342, 627 and 836 is 19. Now you'll use any of the two methods to find the HCF. So here the HCF will be 19. After you use the methods to find the HCF, you will get 19. Next, number of heaps formed. You have to find the number of heaps that is formed. Now number of heaps formed will be how much? If I am distributing each heap, okay, here find the greatest number of fruits possible in each heap. That was the greatest number of fruits that was possible in each heap, that is the HCF. So 19 apples, or you can say 19 fruits was possible in each heap. So total fruits there are 342, 627 and 836. So we'll sum that up, we'll find the total of that, and we'll divide it by the fruits in each heap, that is 19. So we'll add it up and divide by 19. That will give us 1805 by 19. It will be equal to 95 heaps. So how many heaps are formed? So we can say there are 95 heaps formed in total. So I hope you are clear with this lesson. Practice at home, stay safe, and keep smiling. Thank you.